in fact, I'm just going to start recording it now. So we will be recording this lecture, and if anyone doesn't want to appear on the recording, then I would advise you to step out. And again, people who have videos on may wish to turn them off. We will be keeping all the participants muted, but should questions be addressed, that people want to ask questions in person at the end after the speech, then we will be unmuting people individually. You can put questions into the chat, and either then we'll ask you to speak or deliver the question for you if you want. But the chat function is on the bottom bar on the third from the left. It says chat, there's a little speech bubble. And you can write your questions into the chat, and hopefully we'll collect them and pick them up at the end. In a while, I'll start sharing my screen, which will contain Dr. Abather's presentation. But prior to that, I will give a short introduction to our speaker for tonight. And it gives me really great pleasure to introduce Dr. Abather Saadoon, with whom I have quite a long relationship now. Dr. Abather Saadoon worked from 2001 to 2015 in various survey projects for the State Board of Antiquities and Heritage in Iraq. He did his MA thesis on unpublished Ur3 texts from the Iraq Museum, and he also, this was finished in 2012, and after that he spent a study sojourn on a research fellowship at the University of Heidelberg, where he studied with Professor Marcus Hilgert, and indeed he then took up a PhD at the University of Baghdad, which he did on the Akkadian period texts from Tel al-Wilaya. And it was part of this that we got to know him at SOAS, because he came to SOAS for a study sojourn during 2015 as part of the British Institute for the Study of Iraq's Visiting Scholars Programme. Since completing his PhD, he has become the head of the Department of Archaeology at the University of Al-Muthanna in Iraq. He has published in various journals, both in Iraq, in Summa, for example, and in Britain, in the Journal of the British Institute for the Study of Iraq, namely Iraq. And tonight he's going to talk to us about the Ur3 texts from Umma that form part of his MA work, I think. And so without further ado, I will hand you over to Dr. Abather Saadoon, but I will need to share my screen because I'm going to be doing the images. Okay, can everyone see the screen? Yep,
you can.
Good. Okay. So new Sumerian texts from Umma. Dr. Abather, will you take it away?
Yeah. I start?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. First, I honored to present. Hi, everybody, and I honored to present my presentation for this night, entitled "New Sumerian Text from Umma City." And firstly, I would like to express my deep gratitude to London Center for the Ancient Near East LACANE and SOAS Department of History for the wonderful invitation, and my deep gratitude go to Dr. Mark Whiddin, who support me in my scientific research projects. Also, my thank go to all my colleagues who present for my seminar, and I looking forward to more scientific cooperation between our university, الموسومة, LACANE, and SOAS University of London in the near future. Finally, my thanks go to my supervisor, Professor Dr. Marcus Helgert, University of Heidelberg, Germany, to advise me to study this text to get MA thesis in 2009. This text from Umma, and I would like to speak about introduction for the period for the Sumerian period. After the expile of Gutum or Umma, the founder of the third dynasty of Ur, established more or less stable reign for more than 100 years, 2140 to 2004 BC, a period generally known as an age for reveal of Sumerian and all its cultural aspect during the reign of its 5 consecutive kings, Umma, Shulgi, Amarsin, Shusin, and Abisin. Thousands of cuneiform tablet and administrative documents from the Ur-3 period we scoured through museums and private collections all over the world, illicitly excavated in the last century, mostly from cities in the southern part of Iraq, such as Ur, Lagash, Nefar, and the main 3 cities, Tello, ancient Gerso, Tel Chocha, ancient Umma, and Drahim, ancient Buzrish Dagan. Their reigns witnesses read property in all aspects of life: political, administrative, architecture, literary, and economic. Please, another slide. Mark. I will talk in my presentation for the 5 topics. The first topic, the security situation at Umma after 2003, and 2, table of contents, and 3, method of text arrangement, and 4, additional information, and finally the conclusion that we have from the study of the text. The cuneiform text from Ur-3 period provide us with valuable information and evidence about the economic situation and economic activities from the period, especially the activities found in the city of Ur, Umma, and Drahim. The administrative document of Umma protect provision of materials of important document. Furthermore, these archives provide us with rich data about the daily life, such as agricultural, animal husbandry, trade, and kind of industry and craftsmanship. Archaeological sites in the ancient in Iraq. The archaeological sites of the map were distributed by David Oon in his book SOAS, Volume 3, cuneiform text that came out illegally from Iraq studies, and have mentioned many important cities and geographical location whose we only know about their name, in the hope that State Court of Antiquities and Heritage, Sabah, and international universities will do more surveying and excavation in southern of Iraq, especially in the Umma region, because this place is very important, and we have many tablets came from Umma region. And provenance of the tablets, the mode of the choice of the represented material from the Iraq Museum in Baghdad was solely dependent on the excellent state of preservation and any archival connection was not above voice beforehand. The provenance of the 332 published texts as coming from Umma can be established solely via its textual content and in comparison mainly from the time of the period after 1990 Gulf War. Please, another slide. Next slide. The period after the 1999 Gulf War and consequently were confiscated by the local authorities, according to McGuire Gibson, during a helicopter flight in the aftermath of the US invasion in May 2003. About 200 looters were each visible at Umma, Adab, Ajarib, and Isin. This looting has stopped months later. When I was an employee of the State Board of Antiquities and Heritage, Sabah, I participated in protecting these archaeological sites from distribution by antiquity looters, and with the help of the Iraqi archaeology police and the Italian international team to prevent antiquities and smuggling. You can see in the picture many holes that looters digging. They are digging in this archaeological sites, and you can see the excavation of the Iraqi exhibition. Iraqi archaeologists, they working here in Umma and Shwet and Bzikh, Zabalam and Shwet Kian and Ajarib. Mode of research. In September 2009, the author obtained a scholarship for 3 months on the behalf of Iraqi Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research in Baghdad to complete the requirement of the academic research at the Seminar for Sprachen und Kulturen des Vorderen Orient, Ruprecht Carlos University, Heidelberg, supervised by Professor Dr. Marcus Helgert. And the table, the third topic in my seminar, I want to present, please, another next slide, please. The table of contents. This text cited after we study this text, we have many information about content for the text, like receipt of transfer of lore and expenditure of garment and receipt of a transfer of white gypsum and lard, legal contract concerning the service, and receipt of transfer of female good, receipt of transfer of skin sheep and skin good, deficit of Engarzi, the shepherd, receipt of transfer of land, oil, and flour, receipt of transfer spent pairs of sandals, of strap, of leather, and leather bag, receipt of transfer of harrows, and receipt of transfer of various types of clothing, receipt of a transfer of female kits, and finally, receipt of a text containing a textile quantity virus. The method of the text arrangement. This next slide. Before talking about the classification of the present text, I must make a clear outline in respect of how to classify text, archive text. I divided the text beside on the ancient office period or agency from which materials items have been received. By combining structure of the tablet that belong to each recipient and taking account the chronology of this tablet, we can clearly understand the cuneiform text in systematic way. Next slide. The name of the period. This name is the rare in the Umma text, like Azimo and Abituni and Agatia, Bilibani, Dakhshatal, and Garzi, Bududu, Ninura, Luduga. This is the period and the number of the text that contain in the text of Umma that I studied. Please, next slide. And another period of Lushara, Maduga, Muni, Shabra, Sharadan, Shara Isa, and Shat Ishtar. Shat Ishtar, the famous princess, is the first time appear and mentioned in my text as a princess. Shat Ishtar, and known before my text as a princess. And I published article, the new text about the archive of Shat Ishtar, and I published it in Iraq magazine, in UAC, in volume 80 for the year 2018. And Shashkalla and Zarir, and there is office are not known for the text 31 to 32. Next slide. Additional information like ID card for the text when the writer show and read the text. He has the important information about the text, like please another slide. This is information like database for the cuneiform tablet that I study, like date, the date of the tablets, and the symbol of the museum, like Iraqi museum, and the provenance for the text, returning back to the provenance, and measurement, and transaction, and illustration, and finally the note for the text. This text have some seal impressions. Seals impressions is very important. The first, the most important from the seal impression for the princess of Shat Ishtar, Dumulugal, Dam, Dinger, Shara, Kam, Dob, Star. This is the seal impression. From this seal impression, we know that Shat Ishtar is a princess, and the Dam Shara Kam. And the second seal impression, Abkusha, Arad, Shara. And the third seal impression, Bituni, Dumu, Nini, A, Lu Azlak, Shara. For Lu Dingerra, Siba, Dumu, Lu Shara. Lu Dingerra, Siba, Dumu, Urki, Dagal. Ur Shara, Dubsar, Dumu, Lulu, Ni. Shara Kam, Dubsar, Shulgi Mudach, Arad, Zu. And finally, Muni, Dubsar, Dumu, Aakalla, Gudu, Guda, Nin, or Ra. Another slide. Next slide, please. Calendars. The names of months of different calendars appear in the text of the study, including the Umma and Ur cities, cities and their cities. There's 3 calendars for Drahim and Umma and Ur. Next slide, please. After that, I will talk about the date formula, the period of time to which these texts refer to the third era from the 42nd year of King Shulgi, 42 of the reign of King to the fourth year for the king of Abyssinia, 4, and then the oldest text returning back to Shulgi for the year 42, Mu I Buzrj Dagan Ki Bad Du Mu Trikam Osdi. And the end of the text for the king of Abyssinia for the 4, Mu in Amgal Anna Linger Inanna Ba Khon. Next slide. I choose for 2 texts from this text. The one text returning back to Shat Ishtar. The most of the text, about 50 texts returning back to Shat Ishtar. This text dealing with the cloth, weaving cloth, took Ushbar with garment, Ushbar Tor, 5 small weave garment from Abituni. They were withdraw, seal of Shat Ishtar, month DC, 9 Umma calendars, and the temple of Shara of Umma was built, and the seal impression for the Shat Ishtar, daughter of the king, wife of Shara Kam. Shat Ishtar, Dumu Lugal, Dam Shara Kam Dub Sar. Another slide, please. And the second text that I choose for the legal guarantee, this legal guarantee is very rare in Umma text in this period. This text deal with Tab, the wife of Abu Tab, and Adab Nuri, his servant from Bili Bani, and Umma, and Nabi Rumti, his mother Amma, and have the month Iti Zimni Sak, She, until the Zimni Sak, for do they stand Shudu Anene and Gub Esh as guarantors stands in front of Lala, and this is the witnesses that dealing with this legal contract. Next slide, please. And the finally of my presentation, the conclusion. The text belong to Ur-3 dynasty from the 42nd year of the reign of King Shulgi to 1094 to 2047 BC to the 4th year of the reign of Abyssinia to 1028 to 2004 BC. The last king of the 3rd dynasty of Ur. They all came, these texts, they all came from 3 major urban cities, Ur, Umma, and Buzrish Dagan. This tablet consists of economic text, which is common in Ur-3 period. The texts are relating to agriculture, livestock, husbandry, and manufacturing activities. The most significant in this text is text 40, which includes a legal guarantee, legal insured document, in which rare at the period. From studying and analysis the text and their sales, impression. It appeared that women shot Ishtar from royal statue played a role in the administration of Or three, such as Shulgi Samti, Abi Samti, and Geme Enlil, which exists in text number 2 within a royal seal. Thank you so much for your listening and for your attention.
Right, thank you very much, Abather. That's a very nice presentation.
Thank you.
I think we're going to take some questions now, if anybody has any. John, are you in charge of that?
Yes, if you can raise your hand, I will be able to unmute you, or you can unmute yourself. Okay, we've got one from Willis Monroe.
I was just putting the applause in the chat.
You're still
Okay.
very welcome to ask a question.
That's okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes. Pardon? Dr. Mark, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah. And please, again, for the question.
Okay, we've got a question by Ilya Semenenko, who's thanking you for your presentation. And
Thank you.
could you please tell something more on the discovery of these texts?
Yes, this text confiscated and this received for the Iraqi Museum from the Iraqi citizen, about 1,500 texts. And I study only for 32 texts. And another text studied by my colleagues from the universities, from Iraqi universities, from Mosul and Baghdad and Al-Qadisiyah and another university.
Thank you very much. Next is Dr. Jafar, and then Professor Feldhaus. First, Dr. Jafar, please. Dr. Jafar Jafari.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abather, about this.
Thank you, my colleagues, my dear colleagues.
I wonder if you have any information about the ancient river of Umma, whether it's mentioned in the text or not. The ancient river of Umma, Nahr al-Qadim.
Sorry, Doctor. Please again. The sound is very weak. Sorry, Doctor. Are you hearing me? Dr. Jafar, are you hearing me? Dr. Jafar, could you please again your question?
Hello, Abather, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
My question was about the ancient river. Do you have any information about Umma ancient river? Yeah. Thank you for the question. I asked the major of the excavation, Mr. Hamza Shahad, that excavated in Umma, and he told me there's the river connected with the Uthringal, some river, and it's very important. I research about this canal and this river because I need to for the distance from Tel Wilaya to Umma. I wrote there is a canal followed from Umma and to Tel Wilaya that the Ersagric text information about this canal. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would now like to ask Nick Feldhaus to ask his question, and then we'll have Vic Sharma and Daniel Sanchez Munoz.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Saadoon, for your presentation and more in general for your work on rescuing this material.
Thank you.
I I noticed that the texts about Shat Eshtar that you were talking about today, you published those very, very interesting texts in the journal Iraq. I was wondering the text with the guarantors, the legal text, has that been published anywhere?
Yeah, guarantor. Yes, about Shat Eshtar, there's some text or the guarantee. This illegal. Only this text, and in this text I studied. Only this text I studied. But when I research about the text of Umma, I can find many texts about this matter. It's very difficult to study this text. I think it's rare, the text, the rare and Umma text.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We had a question from Vic Sharma, which may be a misunderstanding, but Abather, I will ask you. You were talking about the receipt of females, of women. Does that mean slave trade?
Yeah. Female? Yes.
You mentioned women mentioned in the records. I think there may have been a misunderstanding, but Vic Sharma would like to know if that implied slave trade.
Yeah, I think this is the female word. Yeah, this is Shat Eshtar. Yeah, about Shat Eshtar, female princess.
So can I translate the question for Abather?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Abather هي تقول اكو انت ذكرت اكو نساء بالنصوص، هل هن اكو تجارة عبيد للنساء؟ تجارة عبيد للنساء بهاي المنطقة؟
Yes, only this text, the legal text only. But when we study that text, I think there is a threat for the female word. Yes, found in the text.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, we have a question from Daniel.
Okay, yes, thank you so much. I'm joining my previous colleagues. Welcome, thanking you for this effort in order to bring a new text to ancient Near Eastern community. It is always very interesting, and I had a very short question. Have you found any allusion to a musician or singer among the texts you have published, whether as a receptor of some of the goods of your text or as a member of the legal processes you have described in your text? Thank you.
أبادر هي تسأل على أكو يعني مغنيين سينجر، أكو إشارة للمغنيين أو مطربين أو كذا.
There's many craftsmen in this text, but the singer there's don't in my text.
Oh,
the singer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We've got a new question by John Leake. You mentioned the need for field surveys at the start of your talk. What are the conditions for field surveys today? What are the conditions for field surveys in Iraq?
Yeah, there is many surveys in some province like in Al-Qadisiyah and in Diqa, and my colleagues Dr. Jafar know about this survey, and in Umma region I think there is not survey for the this region have many work for the survey all these days. But when I official in the State Board of Antiquities and Heritage, I work in this in this text in Umma, in this archaeological sites in Umma region, and I record about 500 archaeological sites in this region. Many, but we hope that in the future we have work as a survey in this region. But we have many archaeological sites, but we don't know where the name of the provenance that cited in the text.
Yes, there are two teams worked last year in Umma. First, the Slovakian team, and the second team, Stevanie Rose team. So I think they found some new results.
That's great news. Are there any more questions?
I don't hear you.
Sorry, that is very good news to hear that there are more surveys in the Umma region. Are there any more questions regarding the texts, the surveys, the seal impressions? We have here the one specialist on the Princess Shad Eshtar. Maybe you would like to learn more about her. Yeah, maybe I can just ask if you can tell us more about the activities that Shad Eshtar was involved in, because some people might not have read your article in Iraq yet, though I surely hope they will do after this lecture.
Shad Eshtar is a very famous princess, and this is only in my text, and some texts appear in David Ohm, in Saa'a 50. There's some text from Sagrik, and
Abather, we're having problems hearing you.
Yeah.
You seem to have frozen a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yes, Shad Eshtar is famous princess that dealing with many activity in Umma region, I think. But I know there's some text in Sagrik text. We hope that in the future we have many excavation and survey, so we can have more information about the princess of Shad Eshtar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got a new question coming in from Martin Worthington. He asks how quickly people wrote these tablets. Because economic documents are relatively small, and sometimes they appear to be quite quickly written. Any ideas on how many tablets you can write in a short time?
How many tablets? 52 tablets.
أباذر تسمعني شوية صوتك بعيد أباذر.
نعم دكتور المشكلة.
قريب. هي تسأل على سرعة كتابة الرقم الطيني. ايش قد واحد يعني يقدر يكتب بالدقيقة أو بالساعة كم رقم طيني؟ يحتاج وقت كتابة الرقم الطيني لو بسرعة. سؤال عام هذا.
اي نعم اي. We know from information about the writer how to write in the clay tablet. I think there is some days to write, because when he write for the upper verse, he write and then he need to drive for the mode of the, and then to write for the upper verse and reverse, and then edit and right edit. I think he had some days to write, maybe 2 days, I think, because it include for the sun or for the condition of the region.
That's interesting. How would you explain the sheer quantity of the tablets if it took relatively long to write them? Because the O3 period is famous for having produced lots and lots of economic documents and other tablets, obviously.
يعني ايش قد نحتاج فتره زمنيه حتى نكتب هذه الكميه الهائله من النصوص مال اوما تدري بها هواي نصوص بصراحه.
Yes.
ايش قد استغرق هذا الوقت حتى ننتج فيه نصوص؟
About us or about for the Sumerian person?
The Sumerian people.
Sumerian. I think they have many time to write about, but I think they have the important way to write the text, because they have dealing in the market, and when the man to buy some sheep and another economic materials, he need to contract or he need to receipt. I think he don't to wait for the right for 2 days or 3 days. I think there is way, but we don't know about this how to write for the text.
Thank you very much. Any more questions? One question maybe from me, you showed us several examples of seal impressions, people with their professional titles and their affiliation. Are you planning, once all these 1,500 tablets have been processed, to do a prosopographical study of the Umma region?
I think this text is very important, and in this text, many seal impressions in the text. One things have 5 seal impression and like this, and this text is the rare in this period.
هي طبعا هذا السؤال صحيح، هي اسئله على يقول هوايه اكو نصوص فيها اسماء لشخصيات كبيره واماكن ومناطق. هاي الكميه الهائله من النصوص ممكن اذا نجمعها نعرف الجغرافيا القديمه مال المنطقه.
Yes, exactly. We know everything in this region about this text, but we have many texts in the Iraqi Museum. We have to study, and we hope to study this text. And there is many important information about the region and the connected between the cities like Garshana, the Lost City, and Ersagrig, and Kash and Tal Wilaya. We have many cities that we don't know where it's located.
Thank you very much. I think you're raising a very important point there. It's also about how these regions were interconnected, etc. And I'm sure these tablets will shed more light on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we have another question by Farouk Al-Ravi. I'll try and find you as fast as I can.
Hello, Doctor.
Yeah.
Hello, السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام. Hello, دكتور. حياك الله.
تحياتي للجميع وبخاصة دكتور جعفر.
شكرا دكتور، اهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بك.
هلا بيك. I would like, in fact, to ask about the fact that one of the Iraqi students published, I think, a thesis or wrote a thesis in Germany, Ashtar Samir al-Sarraf. Have you seen her work?
Yes, my colleague Ashtar, but my thesis before her, this is the Hashat Ashtar, this is the topic for my research for the published, but my colleagues write about Hashat Ashtar in Germany, some text. Yes, but she don't translate, and we don't know about her dissertation.
Yes. It seems to me that they ask you about the time, يعني هم سألوك عن الوقت الذي أنا لا أعتقد أكثر من دقائق لأن الألواح كانت تجهز قبل الكتابة، والدليل على ذلك تخطيطها وبخاصة ضمن السطور الموجودة على اللوح ثم الكتابة بها. وهناك مساعدون يسمون شملوا أو شملوا باللغة الأكادية، الشمال باللغة العربية، الذي يجهز ويأتي الكاتب مجرد يملأ، وخاصة الفورمولا موجودة، أي أن النموذج الاقتصادي موجود.
نعم نعم دكتور، يعني اكو طريقه لابد منه، يعني الشخص من يجي يشتري من سوق يعني يريد وصل، وهي هاي الوصلات اللي احنا هسه جاي ندرسها، يعني هاي شلون يعني راح تجف الطينه، يعني لابد اكو طريقه سريعه لتسليم الوصل اللي يجي يشترينا.
بالتاكيد مجهزه قبل الكتابه، ومجرد يوقعون عليها او يغايرون في الأوزان أو ما شابه أو المواد أو ما شابه ذلك.
أحسنتم دكتور، أحسنتم.
So you mean, Dr. Farq, you mean that we have already written uniform text and then we just need to sign it when we
بالضبط. أنا أعطيك مثال قد يكون قياساً لعمل تلك التابليتات أو الألواح. كنت أدرس مثل هذه الألواح قبل سنين في المتحف البريطاني، وكنت أقرأ وأنسخ ما يقارب 20 لوحاً في اليوم الواحد.
Jaffa, could you translate that for us?
مثال فقط للأخذ به.
So Dr. Farq said that he has his own experience that when he worked in the British Museum, he was able to copy like 20 texts a day. So it was so easy for him to, to write or to copy the text. So why the people in the past need 2 days to write one or two texts? So he suggested that writing a cuneiform tablet is so easy. It's so quick as well, because it's already there, and you need just to sign it, because the transaction, the economic transaction, is well known. So we have like a template, and then when we agreed to the deal, the two sides need just to sign it. So they don't need to wait 2 days to produce one contract or one tab. Yes.
شكرا لكم، وأنا آسف لعدم حضوري في البداية للتعليق على بعض الألواح.
حياك الله دكتورنا الغالي، حياك الله.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jafar.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark and all, and the chairman.
Thank you, Farouk.
Mark, would you like to ask your question?
Thank you. Yes, Abather, Dr. Abather, thank you so much for your presentation. So, Shah Eshtar is a princess from Ur, part of the royal family. And she has a husband who is called Sharakam.
Sharakam, yes.
Yes, and he's a scribe. So he must be a very important person, but he's a scribe as well. Do you think he had an important role in government as a scribe?
Yeah, I think in Tello, I wrote some the text from Tello Sharakam. I think the prince in Tello, Girso.
You think that's the same person?
Yeah, same person, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So a scribe could be a really important person in the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think in Mizyed Shot Ishtar, like, but I don't know, she like this Shot Ishtar. I think in some text from Mizyed, there's Shot Ishtar.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we have further questions?
Dr. Andra George.
I don't see any questions in the chat bar, and I don't think anyone's raised their hand.
Dr. Abather, if I may just congratulate you on your work.
Hello. It's nice to hear from you.
Thank you so much for giving your time and knowledge to us this evening. It's been a great pleasure to hear from you.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Okay, if we have no more questions.
معك واحد من زملائك اللي عنده سؤال اللي
ماك عراقيين ما يحضرون دكتور. ما انت تدري بيهم هم هنا هم بيها بيها عنيات.
ما حاجه ننشر الغسيل مالنا امام العالم.
موجودين بارك الله فيك دكتور أباذر.
الله يحفظكم. الله يحفظكم دكتورنا الغالي.
هلا بيك 100 هلا. الله ان شاء الله يحفظ الجميع من هذا الوباء وعوائلكم كلكم،
وأبدأ
يأخذ بأيديكم للعمل الجاد في مثل هذا المجال، فلقد تجاوزت نصوص أمة 1,000,000 نص، وما علينا إلا أن نستقي دروسا وعبرا من نظامها الاقتصادي الذي ساد العالم آنذاك وربما يفيد العراق في مستقبله. وشكرا لك
أحسنتم دكتور
على هذا الخطاب.
أحسنتم دكتورنا الغالي، نحن نتعلم منكم دكتورنا الغالي.
الله يسلمك.
أنت عالم المسماريات العراقي، ونحن نفتخر بك دكتورنا الغالي، أطال الله في عمرك.
الله يسلمك.
Okay, have we got any further questions, or do people want to carry on chatting?
haven't picked up further questions. Now
Yeah.
is your chance if you want to ask something.
It is just to note, really, that Shar Ashtar,
Yes.
sorry, not Shat Ashtar, but
Yes.
Sharrakam is a very common name in the in the Umma text.
Mm.
It's
Yes.
very common, not common, but very, very common. I have thousands of occurrences to Sharrakam, and you can go to the web of Molina and see the references in there. But as it's a common name, it could be a scribe, it could be a dealer, or an offering person who deals with offerings, etc.
Yes, Doctor, but we are certain about Sharrakam, the prince. I think in Pillow, and so.
I never passed through that in Girsu, but in Umma text, which I went through many thousands actually, I can assure you that it is very common.
Yes.
Yes, well, the god Shara is the patron god of Umma.
Of course.
Oh, we have another question from Laz Lahman. Do we know anything about the amount of the literacy rates during this time period? Would ordinary merchants have been able to read the documents? So how many people could read the documents? Abather?
Yes, Doctor.
We have a question about how many people would be able to read.
Yes, how many people? I started in the presentation, some of my colleagues from the Iraqi universities, from University of Mosul and from Baghdad, I think about 50 person that study this text.
Yes.
50% in the Urtri period.
Yes. So if you were somebody who was involved in commercial transactions, you would actually be able to read and write, or is this passive knowledge?
Yes.
هم يسألون يقولون الكل كان يعرف يقرأ ويكتب لو بس اللي يتعاملون بالنصوص المثمارية، يعني إذا صار عقد بين طرفين، الطرفين ضروري يعرفون يقرون لو مو بالضرورة.
We don't know about this, but I think this is the writing for the start. I think in the Iraqi ancient, there's because the difficult life, only the difficult life. I think not only to know about right.
So not everyone can write or read. Just little of people, they can do that.
So do we think this is the elite who are merchants?
Yeah, exactly, Martin. This is not just the elite, but a profession. And there is a limited number to those who can read and write cuneiform in the ancient time due to the education system, and or in connection with that, it should be due to the wealth which a person can be in. And we know the structure of the society from this vast number of texts, that there are very limited numbers of scribes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good. Any more questions?
Well, someone has asked if we will share the recording, and we can do that, yes, but we're not quite sure how to. We'll have to see what the file looks like once we've finished. And that will also depend on what Dr. Abather wants to do with it.
Yeah. We don't have any question. Yes.
Abather.
نعم دكتور.
هل هناك نية عملية وضع هذه التابلتات في أماكنها؟ أنا لا أقصد وضعها المادي، وإنما دراسة مركزة لمعرفة أماكن هذه الألواح.
Doctor, yes, I put the project for the Iraq Museum to make a database for the studied text and to know some information about the text that studied. But I wait for my document and for my permission to study like this study. I hope that in the future, I think we can have some information, some text, and all of text they don't publish, and all of text only studied, and they don't publish as a book.
المهم أن جميع هذه الألواح أتت عن أرشيفات معينة، لكل أرشيفه، لكل ناشط تجاري أو كاتب أحيانا أرشيفه الخاص. فعملية تتبع الأرشيفات ستوصلكم إلى المناطق التي يمكن أن تكون أصل الألواح فيها.
Can we have a translation of that question?
Do you want me to do it in Arabic?
Or Farouk, can you translate your question, please? Thank
you. In Arabic?
No, you just asked it in Arabic. Can we have it in English?
In English.
Yes.
All the texts, certainly or most likely, they came from archives. The following of these archives, some of them looted, or most of them looted, but some we found in situ. The following of the information and the study of the archivists would be very helpful to identify the places from where they come. This is in short.
Dr. Abather?
We need a study.
Yes.
دكتور أباذر، إذا تعلق على موضوع اللي طرحه دكتور فاروق، بأنه هي كثير عندنا نصوص وأرشيف لهاي النصوص، لكن اذا جمعنا اذا درسناها دراسه نظاميه راح نوصل للمصدر اللي لقينا من عند هاي النصوص.
نعم احنا نعم دكتور حبيبي، انت يعني قريب من الحدث، وتعرف يعني وضع الدراسه يعني هاي تحتاج الى موافقات من الدارسين. للاسف اليوم يعني الموافقات صعب الحصول عليها من اجل انه الدراسه. انا اتفق معك انه في حال ارشفت هذه النصوص، لان هاي النصوص اجتنا من عده مكانات، وهذه النصوص يعني انا كنت شاهد عليها انه هذه النصوص وصولها وعمليه استلامها. عندما كنا نعمل في مفتشية آثار محافظة ديقار استلمنا العديد من الألواح، أنا وزميلي الوزير السابق دكتور عبد الحميد الحمداني، العديد من الألواح، وهذه الألواح ذهبت إلى مخازن المتحف العراقي. البعض من هذه الألواح يعني موجودة يعني دون دراسة، البعض منها درس، ولكن هنا نصطدم بالموافقات للحصول على موافقات من الباحثين الذين درسوا هذه النصوص، سيما انها هذه النصوص درست ولم تنشر، لم تنشر ككتب. ذلك من الصعوبه ان نحصل على موافقه من الباحثين من اجل اعادتها. انا معك انه اتفق معك انه في حال ارشفت هذه النصوص راح نحصل على العديد من المعلومات التي توضح لنا العديد من المدن السومريه المفقوده التي ذكرت، مثل مدينه قرشانه، مدينه ارساغريك، مدينه كيش، ساكدانا، والعديد من المدن مدن مفقودة لا نعرف منها سوى ذكرها من خلال النصوص. نأمل ذلك في المستقبل القريب إن شاء الله.
نأمل إن شاء الله بالتعاون مع بقية زملائك تستطيعون إعداد بحث. You can organize with your colleagues to present a research خاص بعملية الأرشفة، ويمكن كتابة أطاريح عن الأرشفة في أقسام الآثار على طول العراق وعرضه، أو كليات الآثار. الآن أكو كليات بالعالم كله، ما بي كلية للآثار، بالعراق بي كليات للآثار. إذا ما هو دورهم في رفض هذه المعارف لنهضة التعليم والعلم في العراق؟ هذا هو السؤال الذي يجب أن يطرح للمسؤولين أو للقائمين على الآثار. أما عملية أنه هذا محجوز لفلان وذاك، هذه عمليات يعني شريدة تخبطية، ليس هناك من سلطان عليها.
Could we have a summary of the discussion in English, please?
Yes. What? Do you want me to translate for you, or Ja'far will translate?
Yeah, I mean, Farouk raised a great issue. I mean, that he appealed to the Iraqi faculty of archaeology or department of archaeology in Iraq to do or to carry out systematic archiving for Umma tablets, because you know it's a huge amount of text and tablets. He says that more than 1 million tablets we have, but there is no systematic study or systematic archiving for this tablet. That's why we don't have organized information about Umma and its text. So you see the problem. I mean, he asked the Iraqi uniform to do their best to collect or to gather all these text or tablets and put it in a way that can lead us to know more about the Umma region. Yes.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that is a very good idea. And from what I've learned from this wonderful presentation today, Dr. Abather, you mentioned the ID cards for the individual tablets. I think this is the first step. So congratulations again for doing the first step here, you and your colleagues. And we'll be excited to see future results, even more than you've presented so far.
Yeah, I would like to thank for all my colleagues for who present the presentation, and I would like to thank the dean of my colleagues, Dr. Aid Jaddu Hannoun, and the assistant of the dean, Dr. Maitham Al-Haji, and all my colleagues, Dr. Farouk, and all my colleagues in UAC in United Kingdom. And I hope to more cooperation with my Department of Archaeology in Al-Muthanna University.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Abather. We also hope for a great deal more cooperation with you. And we thank you very much for presenting this wonderful material for us tonight. I should say as well that you have been one of the first people to start pioneering the online presentation during the whole COVID-19 lockdown period. Already back in March, I remember you were putting on lectures on different subjects in Al-Muthanna, and we were all listening to you. And it's really wonderful that, especially from Iraq and from people, scholars like yourself, this initiative is coming to have an online community that contributes to our ability to communicate with each other as scholars much more easily. And I don't know why we didn't do it before.
Yeah, exactly. I was just saying that. Yeah, why are we doing last time?
Yeah. Why did we need?
I wish you popularize your reading of the cuneiform into such thing, Mark. The reading sessions which we used to in SOAS, I hope that you will return it in a form or another.
In an online form?
Online form would be appreciated for the time.
Yes, we could have international reading workshops. This would be a very good idea.
I think it will connect the other scholars, and especially the Iraqis, with SOAS and introduce them to SOAS' role in spreading knowledge throughout the world.
Thank you so much, Farouk. Thank you so much for these words, which are very kind. And I should add, very true. But what Farouk is referring to, I think, is the Monday evening lectures that we have at SOAS during the semester. And indeed, we will have to do those online in the coming session. So it is quite possible that we should make them available to colleagues internationally as well. So, are there no more questions? Okay then, so if everyone can join me in thanking Dr. Abather for his wonderful presentation, which has given us all a lot to think about. Indeed, you can press on the reactions button and it shows a clapping hand. Thank you, Daniel Sanchez. And Martin Worthington is clapping there. That's very good. I can also put my...
Good night. Good night. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you so much, Abather.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
No one else has got anything to say?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Ja'far. Thank you.
Oh, Ja'far, thank you very much, yes, for stepping in and helping with the translation.
شكرا جزيلا دكتور أباذر. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا جزيلا.
حياكم الله. شرفتمونا. حياكم الله.
هلا بيك.
حياك الله دكتورنا الغالي.
الله يحفظك.
دكتور فاروق دكتورنا الغالي، الله يطول عمرك.
الله يسلمك ويسلم الجميع كما قلت من قبل من هذا المرض اللعين. أنا آسف لم أحضر في البداية لأني I just really finished an operation in my eye.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
But it's quite good so far. Thank you.
تحياتنا لكم من مدينة نينوى والحدباء. تحياتنا.
حياك الله أستاذ أحمد المختار.
شكرا جزيلا
حياك
دكتور.
الله دكتور ميثم الحاجي. حياك الله.
شكرا جزيلا.
دكتور عايد جدوع عميد كلية الآداب في جامعة المثنى.
شكرا.
حيا الله الجميع. حيا الله دكتور جعفر الجودري، وجهودك مشكورة دكتورنا الغالي. حضورك شرفنا في هذه العرض لهذا اليوم.
تحياتي للكل.
الله يحفظكم دكتور. الله يحفظكم دكتور ياسر إن شاء الله.
موفقين جميعا.
الله يحفظكم دكتور سجاد. الله يعزكم. حضوركم شرفنا.
شكرا جزيلا دكتور أباذر، بارك الله بجهودك الطيبة، ونرحب بجميع الأساتذة من جميع جامعات العراق والدول.
الله يحفظكم.
شرفنا حضوركم.
دكتور ميثم الحاجي معاون عميد كلية الآداب.
الله يسلمكم دكتور.
يحفظكم دكتور. دكتور عايد.
شكرا جزيلا دكتور. شكرا جزيلا لكم جميعا. باسم عمادة كلية الآداب نرحب بالسادة المحاضرين جميعا والحضور جميعا، وبالسيد عميد كلية التربية والعلوم الإنسانية أستاذ المساعد دكتور باسم خيري لحضور هذه المحاضرة. وحقيقة هي محاضرة قيمة، وأنا أعتذر جدا لضعف النت لأني شاركت متأخرا. أتمنى لكم التوفيق، وأتمنى من الله سبحانه وتعالى أن لا تكون هذه المحاضرة مجرد كلام، أتمنى أن يكون لها تحقيق على أرض الواقع. الجهود التي بذلتموها ليست هينة، ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يتحقق لكم ما تطمحون إليه خدمة لتراثنا وحضارتنا، ونتمنى من الله سبحانه وتعالى أن تكون لكم آثارا واضحة في الآثار في تطويرا وبناء وحفاظا وتشجيعا للجيل الجديد الذي نتمنى من الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يكون جيلا غيورا على تراثه وأن يسير على خطاكم، فأنتم أعلام لا نعتقد أنها تتكرر، ونتمنى من الجيل الجديد أن يقتدي بكم. شكرا جزيلا مرة أخرى، وأتمنى لكم التوفيق.
الله يحفظكم دكتورنا الغالي، شرفتنا بحضوركم وشرفنا دكتور باسم بحضوره في هذه المحاضرة. حياكم الله جميعا، نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى التوفيق للجميع. Many thanks for all my colleagues that present in the presentation, and we hope to contact in next lectures. Thank you and good night.
Okay, Dr. Abather. Shall I close the meeting now then?
Yeah.
Shall I finish? Okay then.
Good
night, everyone.
Thanks for you.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.